Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game, featuring the Obsession character expansion. My name is Christine, and in this video I'm going to show you what is included in this expansion to help you decide if you want to add the Obsession character expansion to your collection. Here we have the new Obsession characters expansion. So I'm going to show you what is included in this expansion. Now first off, we have the booklet. So one gives you everything about the character expansion, everything you need to know. But there's also one on how to play the game cooperatively. And there's another one that gives you a whole variety of variants. So a whole bunch of different things you can change up in the game. So if you want to change some rules here and there, you can use one or two of these, and just a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So you get 3 booklets with this expansion. Now the main thing we want to look at are some of the new characters. So when you pass and you refresh service, reclaim your deck, observe the round track event, you evaluate your monuments, and then at this point you have the option of either not inviting a character, inviting the constable, the reverend, the dowager, and then if you choose one of these, then you get your regular bonus of either 200 pounds, refreshing, or hiring servants, and then you can buy from the market. Or if you do the dowager, then you invite one of her guests and then buy from the market. So this is the point in the game where these new characters will come in. So first we have the Reverend. And what the Reverend does is you put your footman here whenever you want to invite somebody, and you bring him onto your activity. And during your next turn, he allows you to change out your objective cards. Now there are a whole new deck of objective cards with this expansion that give you a bunch of different objectives that we didn't previously have. So if you have an objective card you don't want, you could hire him, invite him over, and then you have to pay 100 pounds per card you choose. And there would randomly be 4 cards here. And then whenever you get rid of an objective, you're going to put it onto this pile as well, so other people can choose from them in future rounds. And that is the bonus that the Reverend gets you. Next we have the Constable Bucket. And again, you put your footman there to invite him over. And on your next round, he would be there at the activity. So this is when you want to pull out some of those unsavory guests. The ones that have negatives are our unsavory guests. Now, while the constable is there, you will gain the reputation, you will gain the money, but you will not lose the money or lose these reputation. You only gain the positives when the constable is visiting. And then at the end of the activity, the constable might say to your unsavory guests, maybe you should move out of the manor. Move along. And this is how you can get rid of a whole pile of negative guests in one go. Now, the only downside is people hear the constable has been to your house. You do lose 2 reputation, but you didn't lose 5 and you got all this money and you got them out of your hand, so you won't have negative points at the end of the game. And so that is the bonus of the constable. Now the dowager, she's a little different. She has had these people staying at her house for years, and she is willing to let them go to another house and take up room in your space. So they all have really good benefits, but you do have to pay them money each time you use them. However, they are not unsavory guests. They give you ones, so you can't get rid of them the same way you could with the other ones I just showed you. So you have to decide, is it worth paying $200 or 200 pounds to be able to get a prestige guest where you get to see 2 and take 1. And that's most of them, and this one gives you 3 reputation. But you can play her when you're only at level 2 early in the game to pump up your reputation that much quicker. And so that is what happens when you invite the dowager. You'll be able to invite a new guest into your home. And again, it is, you put a footman here. Now there's also these second chance domestics, we have the footman, the maid, and I always forget that one. The green is the valet. We have the footman, the maid, and the valet. Now, these guests, or these helpers, you sort of found them on the side. You needed somebody extra. But what happens is, if you use one of these guests, if you were to use the valet here with this prestige guest, then you're going to lose 2 reputation, because the prestige guest is like, who is this guy? He's not very well trained. Now, if you were to use him on a regular guest, then you lose 1 reputation. But if you use him on an unsavory guest or on a family member, you don't lose any reputation. So you have to decide, is getting one of them worth it? You get them a lot easier, and you can add them to your household, but you just have to be like, I'll use them to help out the family, or that unsavory guest, like this guy here who is unsavory, you could get this footman to help him, and then he would be, you would not lose any reputation, because this guest doesn't hold a lot of weight in what he has to say. And so that is the second chance domestics. So just to clarify the second chance domestics, what you do, this is an anytime action. You use your butler and you just say, I'm going to hire 1 or 2 of the second chance domestics here, and then put them into expended service. And so that is how you would hire them. You don't use your butler's activity to do it. It's an anytime action. Now, the one other thing I wanted to just show you is here you're putting 1 footman. So once somebody has their footman here, they have to wait to use the character they got, and then when they return the character, they get their footman back. Now, the other option is on this side, you could have somebody waiting. So the first person could go here, and then say if you were passing in the same turn and wanted that same person, you could put your footman at number 2 and wait. And then once they return back here, then you would get them. So it's another option you can choose when playing is, are you going to allow other people to wait for the different people while you have them, or can only one person get the benefit? So it's just something to think about when you're setting up your game. Another new module is the distinguished family members. And so this has 5 of the family houses. The Howard family isn't included because they feel that family is powerful enough with their fancy chef. But the other 5 families are included here. And so there are 4 distinguished family members. However, you only play with 1. So they suggest using a family, 1 family, everybody choosing a character, and then whatever character they chose is the one to add into their hand from their particular family. So everybody is playing with a different upgraded distinguished family member. But they will give you some stronger benefits than what's currently in the deck. There are also 3 new favors found on some of these distinguished family cards. So this first one here allows you to ignore 1 servant requirement on one of the guests that are in the party with this family member. This symbol here allows you to take a family member out of your discard pile and put them back into your hand. And this one allows you to take a servant that was used in this current activity and put it back into available service. There's also a new Charles Fairchild card to make him more competitive to Elizabeth, because everybody would choose Elizabeth. So now he is worth £300 and 3 reputation when you invite him to an activity. And then we have socialite cards, people who like to be around lots of people. So if you invite him, he would like to have 2 more guests that he can chat with, following the rules of the activity you are inviting him to. And then there's the Anti-Socialite, who doesn't want so many people around. And so in this case, you would invite one less guest to that activity. Now there's another 3 new favors. So this one here, it's similar to the family, but this one allows you to take a guest from your discard pile and add them into your hand. This one is similar, but it's a casual guest only. And this symbol here allows you to flip one of your tiles over to the rose side, or if you have a tile that keeps flipping, you can flip one of those to the opposite side that it's currently on. There are 3 new tiles: the Business Room, Pony and Trap, and the West Terrace. There's also some new cards for playing solo. This is one game I haven't yet had a chance to play solo, so I'm not exactly sure how the solo mode works. And finally, we have the components to play cooperatively with the Snide family. So let me know if you have played Obsession and if you plan on getting the Characters expansion.